Right. So this is the site which is, I would suggest, the best resource for prepare for behavioral interview. Behavior interviews are very important for getting into any of the big organizations, and for engineering managers they'll have two behavioral rounds, and same for senior and principal engineers also, they'll have two behavioral rounds. Behavioral round is a round which is more like a conversation, which is to understand how you respond to various situations. So the idea of behavioral round is to gauge the attitude of the candidate, how he has dealt with different kinds of situations, which could be difficult situations, challenging situations where the person would have faced failures or have faced challenges, how he has dealt with it, how he has come out of that. So this URL is called LinkedIn Interview Prep, is the URL where you will see list of all behavioral questions. Now, behavioral questions could be something very simple, like tell me about yourself, or what is your greatest strength, what is your greatest weakness, why should we hire you, and so on. So there are around 30 questions. So here many of them are listed, but there are few more also. But what you would find is, when you prepare for some questions, you will also be able to mold that answer which you have prepared for some questions for various other questions as well. So to give an example, if there is a question like no, tell me about your most challenging project, so you can talk about, no, this is my challenging project. Better to have some project which is in the recent past. It should be less than 5 years. And when you talk about that project, you can share what is your contribution. So your focus is always towards selling yourself. And what are the qualities? All questions should translate to what you should think in the back of your mind is, how will you present yourself, how will you do a sales pitch for yourself, so that the other person sees you standing out from tens of others candidate who have been giving similar answers, and who will have similar experience and skill set as of you. So your focus should be how to stand out and share the qualities, key qualities which you have, so that the interview have a positive uh, feedback about you, and he can talk to you, present your case of getting hired to any organization. So yes, as I was saying that most of your answers will be about showcasing your qualities, so you can utilize the same answers or similar answers in multiple questions. For example, if I talk about what's your most challenging project, you can use some portion of it, talk about your challenging projects, but important thing is you have to share what you did in that project and how you contributed and created impact in that project. And at the same time, if some question is like, what's your greatest strength, so again you can reuse many of the content. So I would suggest, don't hesitate to start framing these questions in your notes, and be ready with the answers, because in a behavioral round interview will be around 45 minutes, and in that 45 minutes you would be asked 4 or 5 questions on various qualities. They would have asked about how would you deal with tough customers or stakeholder. They will also talk about yourself, what's your management style, or what's your strengths and weaknesses. And then you would also be asked some situational questions, like how you would deal with the low performer, how would you deal with high performer. So I have prepared guidelines for many of the questions and how to answer them, and this is what I will be going through. So important thing is, whenever you are framing any answer, you should use a STAR framework, STAR methodology. STAR is you start with situation. S stands for situation. T is for the task, or what were your responsibilities at the time of the project. And A is what actions you did, and R is the result. So any question, if it is asked, because you have the background, interviewer may not be aware about it, and your aim is always to present a good story. It should be informative. It should present your sales pitch. It should highlight your qualities, and at the same time it should be easy to remember for the interviewer, and he should understand it. So this framework is very useful. You use always first start describing the situation. This is uh, S of situation in the STAR framework, and then you describe about what was the responsibility. It could be whether you were the project lead, or you were a senior developer, or you were an engineering manager, because depending on the role you have, you will take different actions. You are expected to do different duties, and then you talk about what actions you did at that particular situation with your capacity in that particular role. And then the last thing is very important. Last part is the result. What was the outcome or the result of the actions you took? And always it is good to share positive examples, but in case there is examples where there was failure, then you should also highlight what was the learnings from it, and how you improved going forward, how you ensured that the shortcomings that happened did not happen again. So this is about the general framework, and this let me introduce you about this site which I have shared. This is LinkedIn and slash interview prep. This is the URL, and in this there are various questions. So good thing is, in behavioral round, no, it will not help you to just phrase or just be ready with the answers. It is also about talking. This is the interview round where you have to do a lot of talking. So what you have to do is you have to really practice out how would you answer these questions, because no, it should not happen that some questions comes out and then you are not able to answer it fluently and you are caught off guarded. So here best thing is keep preparing by answering answering these questions. Prepare a speech, record videos of your answers, and go through them again and again. Try to improve on them going forward, so that you are not only able to understand the gist of the question, how to answer it well, but your delivery of the answer is also very good and to the point. Because in a 45-minute interview, when you are asked around 5-6 questions, you should be spending around 5 minutes each on any of these questions, and within that 5 minutes you should give good data points to the interviewer, so that he can get positive feedback around you, and he can gauge all your capabilities. So this the speed becomes very important, because if you are not practiced and rehearsed, then for getting out the same message you will take more time, and you will not be able to answer all the questions from the interviewer in the specified time. So this site helps you to prepare well. So it provides some sample answers as well. Say for example, let me look into first question. Here this is about tell me about yourself. So here when you are answering this question, tell me about yourself, You don't have to just talk about yourself, whether what hobbies you have or what you have done in the past, whether your grades were higher than others. These things do not make too much of impact if they are not very recent. But what is making the maximum impact is uh, what are the qualities which is important to the job. So first thing is you should be very much aware of the job description before answering this question. And your answer should be such that it should tell that what are the qualities you have which makes you most suitable for this job. So when you are asked, tell me about yourself as question from an interviewer, you have to take it as he is asking, tell me about your qualities which are making you good fit for this job. So if you have gone through the job description really well, you can see what are the qualities or expectations of the role which you have applied. You have to be very much aware of, and you have to tell about the qualities which is making you suitable for this particular job. And there are few more tips in addition to this. First thing is your answer should be helping the interviewer map your skill sets with the job description, what is required in the job description. And second thing is you can start with some attention getter statement, because this is something you want yourself to stand out and be remembered by the interviewer. So you should start with some attention getter, which could be I have strong management skills and I'm very strong technically. You can start with something like this, because this is again a attention getter. When you make these statements like I have excellent management skills, or I have proven track record of innovations in my career, these are attention grabber, and this will also set the stage for the next questions. So when you start with this makes the interviewer more interested in listening to the rest of your answer. So that's why I'm saying you should start with a attention getter statement, and then you have to tell a story, which is how would you justify the statement which you have. So if I have said that okay, I'm very good in management skills and I'm a strong leader, then I talk about that, okay, how I have coordinated. So you can then tell about that, okay, I always ensure when there is any project or task which has to be done as a team, then everyone knows about the responsibilities, and everyone is working towards the same goal. So this is something you can kind of put as a second statement, and then you can give an example that okay, I have to plan one project and it had hundreds of items, and the team was less experienced and they have to learn, and there were a lot of challenges, and how you dealt with the challenge, that can go there. So you don't have to talk everything about yourself, that how many years of experience you have, how many projects you have completed, how many team members you have worked with, and how many people you have managed. All that you do not have to cover, but you have to tell one story and tell one or two points which map you as a candidate for the job description. So this is how you will answer, tell me about yourself. Hi Sheikh, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi, Tarun.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Great,
Hi,
great. So yeah, we
yeah, how are
just
you?
started few minutes back and we were discussing about tell me about yourself. So this session is about behavior interview. So the first question which we were discussing was tell me about yourself. So here I am sharing my screen, and as you can see, this is LinkedIn interview preparation site. LinkedIn has a good section for helping candidates prepare for behavioral interviews. So we covered first question, which is tell me about yourself. This is most commonly asked question. And then here you will see some sample answers as well. So you can see here there are videos about how to answer this question as well. So you can go through these videos, right? So this is good tips to.
Let's see how a job candidate might approach this question, and then I'll follow up in a minute with some detailed feedback.
So you have here the video course on how to answer this. You can listen to them, and you also have sample answers, how people are answering it. But see, this may not be of too much help to you because they are from different backgrounds. So this is how a mechanical engineer will be answering this question, or how a product manager will be answering this question. So they are very generic questions, may not be suitable for. I didn't find any answers which is towards software engineers or engineering managers looking to get hired into big tech companies like Facebook, Microsoft. So we have to create our own version, and that's why I'm kind of covering the tips in this session. So this is about, you can view sample answers, you can view tips about how to answer them. Again, these tips are also generic, so you have to take these tips with a pinch of salt. If something you are convinced, then only you take that tip. Otherwise, you can form your own answers, you can have your own style, because based on your background, you may have a different way of handling situations. So I would also advise be original as well, because that way you can stand out. And next thing is, you can prepare your answers here as well. So here I have prepared some answers. So for example, for myself, just I have prepared answers. So this is how I would answer this question. I've just pasted some text. For example, I talk about my background, my work experience, and some attention grabber statements like, okay, I've traveled and worked in multiple continents, something like that you can have. Or you can have about something whichever you want to highlight, and which is also relevant for the job description also, right? And then the other interesting thing is, once you formulate the answers, you can ask for feedback. You can ask your peers, friends, or mentors to review this. So you can just type in the name of some person, and for example, I have say, for example, I can just type some name from my past mentors, and then I can just ask them to give feedback. So here I can search. So if you want to get feedback on your answers, you can also share it with me. You can connect with me over the LinkedIn, and then share with me your answers. And this way I can be able to also provide you feedback. The other thing is, this is also very good, that you can either write a response here, or you can record a video. Now, if you are recording a video, this is how it works. You can just record using your browser, and the video will be of 2 minutes. So definitely I'll advise, first you can write and prepare your answer. And then most important part is, because this interview is more about talking, communication skills, and how to deliver the answers in a manner so that the interviewer is not lost, he is able to understand it, and you are very to the point, and you are able to put forward the right things in front of the interviewer. So here you should record it, and then there is a AI powered feedback also, which will be provided on delivery of your video. So when I'm speaking, there could be a lot of filler words. So you should avoid using filler words like ooh, ah. A lot of people use repetitive words like so, like. They use repeatedly these words in the beginning of every sentence. If such kind of communication skills are there, then this AI powered feedback tool will provide you these inputs, that okay, you are using these words too often, or your voice modulation is bad. If you are speaking in single monotonous voice, that is also bad, and that makes the conversation very boring. So your modulation is very important. You should use your voice in high pitch, low pitch. You should vary it. And a lot of people, you would notice, that are also using facial expressions also to emphasize some point, and they use head movements and hand movements. So all these good communication techniques will be monitored by this AI powered tool. It takes care of voice modulation, it takes care of some of the filler words, usage of filler words, but it's still in beta, it's not very perfect. So no, you may not get all the feedbacks. So it's also important to get some human to review it. First reviewer you can be also. When you see your video, you'll be able to judge a lot of things which you can improve, and you can correct, and you can create multiple versions. You can update the latest version whenever you feel you can do better in these questions. So you can do that. So here there are so many questions, which is what's your greatest strengths, what's your greatest weakness. Great. So any queries about how to answer? Tell me about yourself.
No, Tarun, I am good so far.
Right. So this is the easiest one, but you should be well prepared in that also, because this is also very important question. It will be asked in most of the interviews and sets the stage for the next questions. Right. So you should play on your strengths in this question, only emphasize things, and try to influence the interviewer to ask more questions. So for example, if I just want to focus the discussion on leadership skills, I will start in this conversation that okay, I'm a great leader, and I have managed one project really well, and I took care of a lot of items and took care of hundreds of challenges. So when I talk about this, definitely, the interviewer is more towards asking me and drilling down further on leadership aspects, right? So this is about how to answer. Tell me about yourself. Next question is, what are your greatest strengths, right? How would you answer this question? And what could be good strengths, right? So first thing I would say that if you just say I got, uh, in one appraisal good rating, that's not good strength. Or if you say I have got better grades than I was the topper of university, again, that's not the great strength. Something you have consistently performed, that will become a great strength. And something which is very relevant to the job is also great strength. First thing, I have noticed that is mostly useful in many organizations, and everyone appreciates that if you are a very good learner, self learner, that is one good strength. So because if I say okay, I'm the topper of university, now I'm anyway out of the university. In my next job, I have to maybe lead a team of 20%. So how that strength, which is doing well in academics, can help me in managing team? So there is very little relevance. So that's why I would say this is not a good answer. But if I say okay, I'm a self learner, then that can also be a good answer, because in many of the projects you always need to learn new technologies, you have to learn working with new people, new stakeholders, new customers. So if you say I can learn something very fast and quickly, and I'm passionate about something, then this is a good answer. And if it is matching to the job description, then this is very helpful, right? Because if I say okay, I'm quick learner in music, that may not be very useful for the organization, because we are talking about the job in this case. So always keep the focus that uh, here the goal for answering the question is you want to get the job offer. So what qualities you would share so that you can get the job offer is what you have to take care in this part. So again, no, for all these questions you can practice, and there are some guidance also available. For example, sample answers and sample questions. So if we can just go through and look into this.
Let's hear how someone might answer, what's your greatest weakness? I'll be right back with some feedback.
Wow, that's a great question. Thanks for asking it. I get really excited when people on my team brainstorm about big new ideas. I sometimes get so caught up in the moment that I volunteer to do too much. I know this can be a distraction in ways that put me at risk of not getting work done properly or missing deadlines. I've been reflecting on why this happens. As I've become more conscious of this pattern, I'm working on ways to contain the negative aspects of my eagerness. One way that I do this is to still attend the brainstorming meetings, but to be more careful.
Right. So this I played, what is your greatest weakness? So whether the question is greatest strength or greatest weakness, some similar tips apply, because when I'm talking about greatest weakness, I will not talk about something which is very core to the job description expectations, right? So for example, if suppose the job is about having good system design skills, and I say no, my weakness is not a good understanding of system design skills, then this is setting myself for rejection, right? So your weakness should not be coming in the path of the course expectation of the job. And also notice the body language, notice the voice modulation, expressions, and try to do something similar. It should be your original. But yes, when you are listening to these answers, also see not only just about the content of what is being talked about, but also how it is being talked about. Mostly art of storytelling is very helpful here, because you have to tell a story and you have to engage the interviewer into that conversation, because it's not one way conversation. It is mostly a kind of two-way conversation which you should do while answering these questions. Correct? So same thing you can do with this also. You can record your video, ask for feedback, and also you can write a text response also. But having a great text response may not be useful, because until unless you cannot deliver it well. So practicing with video is very important here. So anyone has any questions about what is your greatest strength, what is your greatest weakness for these two questions?
Yeah, I still need to prepare from mine. But yeah, I just sent a request in LinkedIn. So once I prepared, I will back to you so that you can review and you can correct it.
Yes, great. See, if you are just in an interview and you are asked this question and you are not prepared, then you have to think through during the interview, right? Then what weakness I should say. So have a ready-made answer beforehand, because maybe in interview situation during pressure you may end up saying something which you should not have said, right? So you have to be very careful about it. All your questions, all your answers should be politically correct. It should not be, you should not say that, okay, someone miscommunicated to me and then I did something and got some effort wasted because of it. You should try to avoid talking about others negatively, and in your answers you should be very thorough with what exactly characteristics you are focusing on. And if you're talking about any weakness, then you should also have a plan how you are looking forward to overcome this weakness, because that's very important. Because here the question is not about knowing know your weakness. It's not a trick question that no, they will just ask something and then let you say something and then say, oh yeah, you are not qualified for this job. So it's not just to trick you and get something out from you and then use it against you to tell you that okay, no, you are not qualified. The main motivation behind asking this question is, are you self-aware? Are you having an attitude where you are looking forward to learn and improve continuously? Basically, are you having a growth mindset? Because no one is perfect, we all are humans, we have done mistakes in the past and will continue to do mistakes. But then how you can overcome these challenges and weaknesses and come out of it more stronger every time you make any mistakes or get into any challenging situation. So this is what the intent of this question is, to see how you reflect on yourself and how you are strategizing on improving yourself, or how much you are investing in yourself. Are you self-aware? If you say no, I don't have any weakness, then this is definitely a lie. And then interviewer will take it like you are not self-aware, or you are not someone who has sought feedback from many people, and you're not interested in improving yourself. You are having a fixed mindset, in other words. Correct? So this is about, and you have to say only one weakness and one strength and focus on it, and tell whatever is the most important stuff, right? Great. So next is other questions sometimes, like why should we hire you? So this question is not that much common, but you should take it like that the interviewer is asking that why you want to work in this particular company, right? Both these questions. So if suppose you are applying for Facebook, then you should say why you want to work in Facebook, why not on Google, Microsoft, or any other company, right? So one primary reason would be salary, but you don't say that okay, I want to work for Facebook because it has best in class salary and good stock options, or it has good food. So don't talk about the benefits, talk about your passion. So what you are passionate about. So you should research the company where you are applying very well, and say if you are applying for Facebook, then you should know what Facebook is working on into. So they are working into metaverse, they are also trying to launch a new cryptocurrency, and they have recently launched a device which is kind of a headset, immersive headset to so they are venturing into other areas. And then the key businesses of the organization, say for example for Facebook, they have the Facebook social network, that's one part. But the other things which are also very popular are WhatsApp and Instagram. So you should be aware of all these things, and you should be putting up facts that no, I know that Facebook has a very good history of delivering innovative product and is being used by billions of users, and I want to create bigger impact. So that could be some answers which you should be looking for. Or you can talk about, I want to work in cutting edge technologies like metaverse, or I want to work with cryptocurrencies, and I want to work in applications where very large scale of users are involving and engaging, and we are making a lot of difference. So something like that could be your answer, right? So then why do you want to work here, right? See, these are all very similar questions. this is exactly the same answer you can use. So I started this session with this note that now, although there are 30 questions, but if you prepare for say 10 questions, you would be able to utilize this in different questions also, right? Your answers could be utilized in uh, different questions as well. So you have to be aware of yourself. So first thing is you think about what are your values, what are the things which makes you stand out from rest of the crowd with similar experience and similar background. And then while answering, you have to just have a conscious awareness about this fact that the interviewer would have listened to the similar answers from 10 different colleagues or from 10 different other people in the recent past also. So you have, how will you stand out from say if this person is interviewing 10 more candidates in the same week, then how will he remember you and how he will be wanting to hire you against all other candidates, correct? So yes, why do you want to work in Facebook or in Google or in Microsoft, Amazon, or whatever is the company name? So you should be aware about what the primary business of the organization is, what is the vision and value of that particular organization. So you can talk about, say for example, if you are looking to work in Google, you can say that I want to work in Google because they have a vision of do no evil, and they have making so much of impact to the work, making all the knowledge available to everyone in the world. So this is how you'll ask that why you would like to work for Google. You don't say that okay, this is my family wants me to work in good organization, or you have to see what is the value that organization is working on, and which is in line with your passion and with your values as well, right? So this is one other way of answering question. Or you can talk about also the technology, that I'm very much no I am the user or consumer of Google since very long days, and have been using it since 10 years, and have used almost all the products, and I see they are best in class products, and I want to work in such kind of products. So that could be another answer for why would you like to work in any organization. So here three things now I would like you to do. First is find out what is your value, what is what you seeking out in your career. Second thing is research about the companies where you are applying. Sometimes you need to also research about the team you are applying to. So for example, if you are applying to some team which is Google Ads team, right, then you have to know something about Google Ads as well, because that can give you additional advantage over other candidates, right? Now there are other questions as well. So one is situational questions, where they will ask you to tell me about a time where you showed leadership. This is another question. So this is again similar to what's your greatest strength. Sometimes if you are applying for leadership positions, then you can utilize these answers and reuse them. But yes, here you have to talk about leadership qualities, where you have displayed leadership. And leadership is not that only at manager level people demonstrate, or you don't need to be director or manager or senior manager to demonstrate leadership. You can demonstrate leadership from the ground level as well, right? So there are so many initiatives which happens from the ground level, so you can talk about whatever you feel is your leadership quality. So whether you are applying as a senior engineer or principal engineer or engineering manager, it's very important to have a situation which will talk about how you have demonstrated leadership. Again, you can get the help from reading here, but that will not give you complete help, because here you have to talk about some situation where you have demonstrated. So it has to be a specific situation where you have demonstrated in your professional life, or if not in professional life, then you can use personal life as well, right? So if you haven't got any situation where you have demonstrated leadership in professional life, then you can talk about, maybe you organized a wedding or you organized a family get together, and what all you took, or celebrated some occasion, so you can talk about that. But primary thing should be, best thing is, if you have demonstrated leadership in professional environment, that's the most seeked out answer. And you have to give a real answer. You should not make up some story. If you have not encountered this, don't create a fake story, because when someone is lying, right, although we think that okay, we can make up a story, but when someone is lying, it's very easy to tell, because it's not just about putting one or two facts, it's also about telling various background conditions and what actions you did, what was the outcome, so many things. So if you are preparing or you are making up a story, then you will be caught, and that will not be a positive sign. So try to be authentic, honest, and describe one situation. So it's hard, it's not very easy, so you have to think through. Maybe you'll need hours of thinking and recalling all your previous projects. So you should make a habit of reviewing your resume, try to recollect things which you have done, and then frame answer. And then once you have the answer, also record a video and review it, and try to improve it again better and better going forward over the time. Great. So tell me about a time you were successful on a team. So this is another question. Then there are a lot of other questions. What would your co-worker says about you? Right, this is another question. So there could be a question like your interviewer would ask that Sheikh or Razia, tell me what is your impression if you ask your colleagues what they would say about you, right? So this is one important question, because here you should try to understand the intent of interviewer. He is not asking that whether you are a social person or not. He's interested in that how much self-aware you are, how much you are seeking for feedback, and how much effort you are putting up to know about your weaknesses, or know about how is your performance, and how is your impact in the rest of your organization, right? So this is asking for this these details, which is if you say no, I don't know, this is not a good answer, because you should know what your colleagues feel about you, because you are working every day with them, and whether they are finding your work beneficial, or are you helping them, and are you delivering values as per their expectation. This is what you should be very much aware about it. So you have to here give some qualities that okay, they see you as a hardworking person, or they see you as a easy to work person, easy to work with person, or they see you as someone who is a mentor or a great colleague fun person. So these are some positive things you should try to share. And here you can share some improvement areas as well, so no harm in that, until unless it's not a very major improvement area, right? Say for example, if you say, I'm very short tempered, or I shout at my colleagues a lot of times, these are some negative traits you should not say. So being honest and authentic also means that you should also share things which are right, but no, in case you have some things where you had a fight and all, no, so try to not tell that, uh, which may create a bad impression and which may kind of put doubt in the mind of the interviewer about your suitability for a particular role or position. So you have to be very cautious as well while answering these questions, because you should not also talk about anything which people may have different opinion about, right? Because everyone is different and everyone has a different opinion about different things. So if you talk about, say, some technology, someone says, okay, this is a brilliant technology, this can also have some no different difference in opinions, right? Great. So now next thing is, why do you want to leave your current role, right? So this is another important question. You should have a valid question answer for this. You should not say that I want to leave because my manager is bad, or no, you don't blame someone else. You should, because everyone wants to have employees who brings in positive environment. So here, don't tell about anything bad about your organization. Although even if the company is not doing, say, business is going down and they are cutting cost and all, so you should always tell that, okay, I'm looking for better opportunities, and then try to reframe things that, okay, you are passionate about Google, passionate about Facebook, and want to work in projects where billions of users are using, right? So no other company other than Facebook or Google can provide such environment. So you can talk about that, and don't share that, "No, I also want to work in Google and I also want to work in Facebook." Have a very clear mindset. Say, no, I only want to work in Facebook. Even if I get a higher offer from Google, I'll work in Facebook. This is what the interviewer should get from you. He's expecting to hear from you. This is what he is looking for. Because yeah, he would also know that if you are brilliant and if you can get selected in Facebook, you may also get selected in Google also. So what is you that why should he hire you? And also, even if you are not applying for Google at the moment, maybe after 6 months, after a year, you can apply and then you can get into Google also. So he wants to hear from you that what is keeping you motivated, so that you will stay with the organization for longer time, right? So then other things are not that very important, because, for example, employment gap, right? What's your salary expectation? This again, I would say, never tell any expectation. Say I'm looking for something which is as per industry standards, because I've seen in the past the salaries are sometimes skyrocketing, and we don't know what's the current norm. So you have to research really well before you come out with a number, and this is something you should leave towards the end, after you have the offer or after you are clear with all the rounds. Then only you have to think about the salary expectations. right? So yeah, we have covered mostly all different kinds of questions, which is weaknesses, strengths, uh, dealing with high performer, low performer, etc. Also, you can prepare yourself. These are also important questions, but again, the answers are very similar. How would you deal with a high performer? If that is the question, then you will always look for enabling him to do better in the job, right? And if the answer is how would you deal with a low performer, it's not you have to say, oh, get lost and I don't want to work with you. This is not the right attitude. Again, the answer is the same. You have to provide him ways in which he can do things better. So whether he is a high performer or low performer, you have to deal with him in a similar manner, and you have to always work to enable him to do better than what he is currently doing, right? So if you are able to do that for both high performer and low performer, you are anyway very much valuable for any organization, right? So more important quality is here that you are engaging with employees. You are trying to understand, take inputs from them, and also providing them an environment which is supportive and which help them do better. So tell me about a time you surpassed people's. So this is about decision making, or surpassed people's expectation. No, this is another important question. If you say no, I never surpassed people expectation, or I never over or exceeded the expectation of my manager or my colleagues, then that's also bad. So think about a situation where you have exceeded people's expectation. It could be manager, it could be other employees, it could be customers could be internal as well as external customers, right? So yeah, this we already covered, that learning ability is something which is very important. So tell me about a time where you had learned something quickly, right? And then one very important thing is the last question. Last question is what you would ask about the company at the end to the interviewer is also very important. If you have not thought about that questions, then he may see you are less interested in the company, right? So people who are passionate about working in an organization, they will look forward to get more and more information about it, and also they will look forward to get more and more information about their role as well. So you have to ask a question, and if you say no, I don't have any questions, then that could be taken as a negative sign. So the good, I would suggest some questions which you can ask at the end. You can ask about, no, what is a day in Google, no, for a software engineer, what is a day like for a software engineer in Google? Or you can ask about something, the project, the person who is interviewing you is working on. You can ask about what is, the development process, or what all activities there are happening for innovation in the organization, or talk about some upcoming products, technology, or talk about how organizations have got back to office, and know what is they are doing to keep employees happy. So you can talk about some good employee best practices which the organizations are taking. So for example, uh, you can talk about what is the hybrid office model these companies are having, and what were their learnings during the pandemic season. And you can talk about various things which is of importance and is also important to you, right? So you can talk about the projects or work culture, or about what all activities and responsibilities you are expected to do in the role where you are applying for. So you just keep asking these questions, and this will make the interviewer feel good and feel you are well informed. And also this is also an opportunity to further impress the interviewer. And even you are getting hired at any level, this means that organization is putting a lot of investment on you. So you should put a very good sales pitch in these interviews, and you should come out in a manner in which you keep the interviewer in a state of mind where he is very impressed with you. So you don't miss out this opportunity of asking finally some good questions about the organizations when the interviewer asks you to ask some questions. Great. So this is what I think is sufficient for today. And as you'll go through, prepare more, then you will get more insights. And these are some general tips I have given. Maybe some of the items you may feel free to disagree, because there is no 100% right or wrong answer. And sometimes also whatever is original, what is your style of working, that is the best answer. If you use that in the responses, then this will definitely become a best answer. So only you can prepare best answer for yourself. This you have to keep in mind. So do thorough study about what values you are looking for. What are your expectations? Are you looking for salary, or are you looking for less stress, or are you looking for good work culture, or are you looking for working in latest technology, or are you looking for good status, or your colleagues talking about you good. So you have to be very clear about what actually you want, and then from your wants, how would you present it to the interviewer. Maybe I'm looking for only high salary, and I'm not bothered about anything else. But then I'll not talk about that. I have to mold my answer. Or maybe I'm looking to work in Facebook only because of social status. Because if I get into Facebook, then I'll be looked upon by my friends and family members. Well, maybe that's only the motivation. But if I'm aware of, then I'll not talk about that in the interviewer. But I have to be prepared. I have to answer in a way that I make my candidature very attractive to the hiring person or the interviewer. Right. So any questions? So everything clear? Razia?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Making sense? Was I making sense?
What would be the weightage
Yes.
of the behavioral round as compared to the technical, and would that be role based?
Yeah. See, you can't be bad in any of these areas. So whether it's coding, or whether it's system design or behavior, it's like having three subjects. And if you are bad in any one of them, and the companies these days have a very high bar, so you can get rejected. And almost like 50% of people get rejected because of behavioral round. So I just got some statistics from a few people I was working with, and these statistics came from HR, because in engineering it's tough to get that statistics. And surprisingly, it's around 50% people get rejected because of behavioral round. So it's higher side. And definitely coding and system design are important, but this is also, if you do not good here, because if you are applying for a higher role, you have to present yourself as a role model for your rest of the team. So if you are a senior engineer or principal engineer, which is L5, L6 or L7 in any organization, then you are a role model for rest of the organization, team members, juniors who are getting into the organization with lesser experience. They would look upon you as what they would like to achieve in their career going forward, right? They want to become like you. So that's why behavioral rounds are very important for all the senior positions, and you have to do really well in this to get hired, right? So 50% rejection means that no average person, if you are doing average, then you may get rejected.
Okay, thank you.
And it's also very difficult to judge whether you have done well or not in behavioral round. So it's very important to have a two-way conversation, because when you have a two-way conversation in this round with the interviewer, then you will be able to understand whether the interviewer is getting what you are trying to say. So communication skills is important. So practice the delivery of the answers very well is what my advice is. And this can help you recording your video and then seeking for feedback, and seeking feedback from the AI feedback tool as well. So usually 1 month of preparation you can put to prepare for behavioral question. Again, you can't work dedicatedly continuously for 1 month in behavioral round, but yes, 1 or 2 questions you have to keep preparing on regular basis, on weekly basis, and systematically and regularly. If you keep preparing for behavioral round, then you will be through without any problem in this. So it's not very hard to prepare. Only thing is you have to rehearse, and sometimes people feel that they can tackle all kinds of questions in an interview, but which is not the case.
Okay, thank you, Tarun.
Right, great. So see you. Have a nice weekend ahead, and right, share your responses and videos. If you seek for feedback, then we can work together and improve on that as well. Great. Okay, bye.
Yeah, thanks,
Bye.
Tarun.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Thank you.